So, hi everyone. So good to see you here. As you can see, something very special arrived at my door today. We're going to be testing out a new brand of markers today. So let's just get right into it and open this baby up. I've been using markers for over a decade now, and I'm very curious to see what it's like to use other brands. I'm super happy to have the chance to try these out. All right, let's just open up and see. I'm actually so excited. I really love the packaging, by the way. The packaging, it feels really good. And you wouldn't expect this tiny thing to have 60 markers in total. So it's really convenient, really like the handle. Let's just see what it looks like inside. Wait, what is this? If you are coloring on thin paper, please put this pad between your coloring sheets to prevent any bleed through. That is absolutely amazing. That genuinely, it actually just comes with that. Okay, that's actually fantastic. Every single drawing of mine basically bleeds through and ruins the paper beneath it, because I usually just kind of draw on top of my sketchbook itself. So this is going to be great to just save some paper. That's really cool that it comes with it. Let's continue and see what it looks like. Just opening this up and looking at it, I'm getting really excited to try these markers. I got sent these markers by HOTU Art Markers on Amazon, who wanted me to try these out and review them. All I ever really use are Copic markers, so I'm really excited to try these out, as I've been wanting to try different brands for a while now. Let's just test them out today and see what they look and feel like. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna grab one and see. Oh, okay. They feel really nice, not heavy at all. I like the matte finish, and the glossy lettering complements it nicely. I'm super excited to be doing this. I'm excited to try this out. You know what? I'm just gonna open it up and see. Oh, that's a nice brush tip. The other side is the basic flat tip, which is great for filling in a lot of space. Both tips look and feel like good quality. Alright, so I'll be testing out my markers just on some plain printer paper that you can find basically anywhere. And because it did come with a nice protection sheet that you can use underneath, I will be trying that out as well in this video. I will also do a little comparison with the markers that I do use all the time, which is just basic Copic markers. Even though they do feel very light, they feel pretty good in my hands. Let's see how it actually feels while coloring. Oh. Wait, hold up. And you know what's nice? It's the color is pretty accurate, not fully, but it's hard to be fully accurate with the tips of the markers. But that looks good. It feels really good, honestly. And yeah, look at that. You can't probably see it, but it's already protecting my table, and I appreciate that. I'm honestly quite surprised by how nice this feels. Let's try the other side now. Okay, just looking like any other marker tip, which is a good thing. This is just great. Let's see. Okay. It fills the space evenly and doesn't leave any streaks. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I am very surprised. The coverage is great. It looks very smooth. Let's try a different color. Let's test this out. The tip looks great as well. It's just a nice, easy brush tip. Oh my god. I'm actually surprised. Okay. Now. Wait. Okay, I'm gonna try another color. Okay, so this green definitely is darker than I expected. Let's see if I can find a lighter one. Nah, there has to be a lighter. Yeah, I think this is. Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's perfect. That is what I was looking for. We're gonna try to make a little artwork with these markers very soon. And for that, I'll be using very special paper that's made for markers. All right, I'm just gonna do a little side-by-side comparison with similar looking colors, just to see how do they look next to each other. right, so now that I got to try both markers and kind of see how they look like right next to each other, I must say, like, the HOTU colors, they look phenomenal. They're slightly different from the Copic markers, but they are very vibrant. They look like they are absorbing the paper really nicely as well. Like, there's not too much bleed from what I can tell. Yeah, comparing the colors, it's honestly like there's not that much difference. It feels great. What I didn't realize is I completely missed something that is hidden away in this amazing little box. I didn't check this side, so yeah, I didn't realize that it actually came with the names, and you also have a little swatch so you can actually check out every single marker. And I'll definitely be doing this just to see what each marker looks like. This is so nice. All right, is there maybe something else hidden? Oh my god, there is. I like that it comes with a little explanation. Oh, it has even tips for the marker itself. This is great. All right, so I'd like to compare both these markers together. And one thing that I noticed is, so definitely the Copic markers, they're a bit smaller, which feels a bit nicer in your hands. But as I mentioned before, that really doesn't make that much of a difference. These still feel great. Another thing that I noticed, which is a huge one, is the price difference between these two markers. Copic markers go for around $5.85 per marker, which is a really expensive price, especially if you're an artist, a young artist who wants to get into marker art. This isn't really the greatest marker to start with. The HOTU markers, when calculated, come to around $1 per marker, which is a big difference. So for these 60 markers that I got, it comes to $59.99. If I got 60 of the Copic markers, it would come to around $351, which is an insane price difference. This is more available for a larger group of artists, which I always appreciate. I'm always of the belief that art materials should be good quality and affordable, and I feel like HOTU markers are that. I'm honestly very excited about these, and I can't wait to create an artwork with these. For now, let's fill in the lovely color swatch that we got with this marker set and see how each individual marker looks like. So now that we filled in the color swatch, it's going to be so much easier to see what the exact color looks like of each marker. It's nice to use as a reference point to see, like, okay, what is the name of each marker and what do they look like on paper? Let's just get right into it and test out these markers. I'm just going to make one of my usual marker art pieces that I've been doing for a while now and see how the markers react and how they blend together. I'm excited to test this out. I did one little blending test beforehand and the markers reacted really well together. The blending goes very smoothly and evenly. Let's not keep you waiting any longer. Let's check them out and test them out. For the drawing that I'm doing, I don't necessarily have a plan in mind of what I want to draw. I'm just going to start with a fish and an eye and just work my way from there. Let my imagination go wild. I noticed pretty quickly that my subconscious was creating a spider-like creature, so I just fully went for that concept and design. After doing the line art, it finally was time to pull out the HOTU markers and really test them out. I noticed straight away that they work pretty great and don't smudge the fine liner work at all. I also can blend and mix colors together like greens and yellows, pinks and blues, with it looking pretty good. At this point, I was fully in the creative mode and just let my colors go wild. Let's enjoy this little time lapse. As a last little step, I wanted to really add some gold leaf to elevate the piece. I used this pen to apply some glue so that the gold can stick to that, and let the gold leaf rest on top of the glue for a good couple hours. After that, it's time to brush the excess gold away and reveal our effort and patience. Alright, so we're finally done creating a new art piece with the new HOTU markers, and I'm honestly so surprised and very happy with the results. The HOTU marker itself was really nice to work with. It felt comfortable in my hand all the way through creating this piece. I was able to blend colors together like blues and purples and greens and yellows without any issues. I also noticed that any of my fine liner work, no matter how close together it was and how thick it was, would not smudge when I went over it with the HOTU markers. I think the vibrancy of the colors look great, and as I mentioned before, the blending itself also just felt fantastic. I definitely had to use the color swatch right next to it to be able to find all the right colors that I need, and it's honestly really handy to have this around. The markers feel light and the ink also feels flowy, it flows nicely, and I honestly had a big blast using these. Let's do a little comparison with HOTU markers and a piece that I made with Copic markers. Alright, so I got the two pieces right next to each other. This is the Copic marker piece, and this is the piece that I just did with the HOTU markers. As you can see, both colors are pretty similar and really vibrant, and I honestly don't think I spot like any difference between the pieces. I think this really shows that the HOTU marker is really good, especially with the price. This is just great because look at this. If you told me both of these were made with Copic markers, I would believe you. Super surprised and very happy with the result of this. Now let's talk about the pros and cons. The pros about this marker set: a very affordable price for 60 markers, good color vibrance and variation, seamless blending, doesn't smudge any black lines, easy to work with and comfortable to hold, great for beginners and professional artists. The cons about this marker set: currently, from what I can tell, there are no refillables that you can get, but that is something that can always change in the future. And the last, you can't buy individual markers yet. Other than that, I think the pros heavily outweigh the cons. I think this is a great set to have. I'm definitely going to be using this in my normal artist day-to-day life and for my future art creations. It was a blast for me to try out these markers. I wanted to give a big thank you to Tracy from HOTU Amazon for sending these to me. And if you'd like to try out these markers for yourself, I put a link down in the description below. Thank you as always for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe for more art videos, and I hope to see you next time. And as always, stay creative.